What's up? What's up? Good to see you.
Yeah, you too again, John David. It's great talking to you. I loved Tenet. It was in my top 10 of the year last year. So I'm great. I'm very happy to talk to you again for Malcolm and Marie. So thank you in honor of this movie. Thank you for the time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Now you filmed this all during quarantine. What was that experience like, and what kind of protocols did you have to put into place to make this?
We were in Carmel, California, Northern California, and a resort, Carmel Valley Inn. We got tested before we arrived. We got tested when we arrived. 13 days of or 12 days of quarantining. We had our own the lodging was great. We had our own sort of homes, really everybody in this resort because nobody was there, which was nice. Plenty of space to hike and get around nature. Obviously masks on, but nobody was allowed to leave, which made it feel safe. We were quarantining, so that was great, and we all did it together. So we would block scenes and rehearse in the parking lot and in a think tank. We did our camera test outside in the parking lot. It was quite a unique experience. It felt a bit, I was talking to Ashley about this too, Levinson, our producer. It felt a bit like Sundance Labs. You know, we both experienced Sundance Labs, and I was there in 2017. And it felt the same way, that getting to know these artists and creating something together was, it felt like a getaway. It was nice.
Yeah. That's great to hear, despite everything, that it still felt like a good, intimate experience and personal.
Oh, most definitely it was. Yeah, it was.
Now, your character, Malcolm, has a strong reaction to a review that he gets. Now, your parents are well known in the industry. What kind of advice have they given you in terms of receiving criticism?
That's a good question. I know my pops basically says don't read him, unless you can handle it, unless you're ready for it. Because honestly, some of them are right, some of them are telling the truth, and some are poking the bear. Some are lazy. So I think personally, I'm just not strong enough to read them. My mom, she does sometimes, but she says if you're not strong enough, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself, But if you are, go for it, But no problem. None of us have the issues I think Malcolm has with reviews, But if you're not ready for it, then don't read them.
Mm-hmm. Your dad's movie, The Little Things, is great, by the way. He's fantastic in it. What does it feel like to have both of you having the same projects out at the same time?
Well, it was cool. It's cool. Like in 2018, I believe, when Equalizer was showing, I think our trailer, I think it was our trailer from Black Klansman was out in the same movie. It was pretty exciting. And seeing our poster side by side on a subway once was crazy. So that feeling, I mean, it's great. I mean, as a kid, that's what I've always envisioned. Like maybe one day Pops will have something out and I'll have something out.
Right.
And it's happening now. It's all digital now. Unfortunately, can't go to the theaters, but I got to experience it in 2018 as well. So I love it. I can't believe it's happening again.
I love hearing that. Now, your last film, Tenet, which we talked about, is this massive blockbuster, huge scale, globe-trotting. And now this film, a two-person intimate streaming film. How did those two challenge you as an actor? And did you learn anything about the kind of projects you would like to take on after this?
I think that's kind of the sort of the extreme spectrum of what I'm trying to do. Like it's the biggest budgeted film I've ever been on, the lowest. I literally paid to do Malcolm and Marie. I put my own money in. We all did. So when I would say I'd pay to do this job, I love it that much. Well, we actually did. And so many similarities, though, in that both parties, both Chris and Sam, love film. They love to create, and they are collaborators. They really invited the actors in and let us interpret their words, how we saw it, and make it the best thing we could. There were no egos when it came to their words, which I really appreciate.
Now, the film is certainly heavy to watch and to be in that headspace. And I can imagine you as the actor having to live in that. It would be exhausting. What did you and Zendaya do to kind of lighten the mood, break things up a bit in between takes or after a long day?
I would bark a lot, loud, random noises, which made people laugh at random just to get the energy back up because we were shooting nights. I'm not a big fan of nights. And she would always say, right before we'd yell action, or right before when they would call her to get into her spot, she'd be like, yay. And I always thought that was funny. We didn't know if we were going to be able to act again for a while. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Like, what can you possibly be complaining about? And that's the attitude we had. It's like, this is a blessing. It always is, even if there wasn't a pandemic, to be on set and do this. So she loves to do this just as much as I do. But given the circumstances, the living in the unknown, this was therapy for both of us. So we loved it. We were shooting all night, and we loved every moment of it.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, it was great talking again, John David. I loved both of these conversations from Tenet and now with this. So this is great. So thank you again. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.